Welcome back, Focus Learners. Let's jump right into today's explainer. We are setting the stage for a massive paradigm shift in how we build products and get our teams aligned. We're unpacking the core insights from the book Product Roadmaps Relaunched by C. Todd Lombardo, Bruce McCarthy, Evan Ryan, and Michael Connors. If you've ever felt the absolute sting of a missed development deadline, a constantly shifting priority list, or this giant strategic disconnect between what the company wants and what your engineering team is actually doing, well, you are in the exact right place. We're going to completely rethink how we plan for the future.
Okay, let's dive into this. Listen to this literal breakup letter written to a product roadmap. Dear J Roadmap, I am leaving you because I can't trust you. I mean, hilarious, right? But also painfully real. It perfectly captures that universal frustration product managers, engineers, and stakeholders feel literally every single day. You're promised health, wealth, and wisdom, but you just end up with broken promises, missed targets, and a whole lot of unhappiness. We have all been there.
So how exactly do we fix this broken relationship? Here's our agenda for today. Number 1, the broken promise. Number 2, redefining the roadmap. Number 3, rules for the relaunch. And finally, building the Wombat roadmap as our real-world case study.
Section 1. The broken promise. Why roadmaps fail. To really validate that pain you're feeling, we have to look at the core issue. The traditional roadmap is basically masquerading as a project plan. Because it relies on static information, it's almost always out of date the actual minute you publish it. It's hyper-focused on specific solutions and feature wish lists, rather than the actual problems a customer is facing. And because it tries to satisfy all these different stakeholders with fixed dates, it becomes this impossible balancing act. Basically, we're trying to predict an unpredictable future, treating these documents like rigid legal contracts in a world that absolutely demands agile flexibility.
And the fallout from this approach is severe. Just look at these other breakup letters from frustrated PMs. You leave me down a path of lies. You're hard to talk to. No one trusts you. This highlights a massive, massive loss of trust among internal teams and external customers alike. And why does this happen? Well, because old-school roadmaps focus almost entirely on output. How many features can we ship, and exactly what day are they going to launch? Instead, they should be focusing on outcomes. Are we actually delivering value to the user?
Section 2. Redefining the roadmap, a strategic pivot.
It is clearly time for a complete overhaul, which brings us to a brand new mindset we need to adopt. And this brilliantly illustrates the point. Jana Basto, the co-founder of ProdPad, says, your product roadmap is the prototype for your strategy. What a powerful reframing. A modern roadmap is not this fixed, unchangeable contract etched in stone. It's an ever-adaptable communication aid. Just like a physical product prototype, your strategy prototype is meant to be tested, changed, and adapted as you learn more about your market and your users.
Let's clearly contrast these two paradigms. On the old roadmap side, it acts like a project plan, relies on rigid dates, it's literally just a list of features, and it is entirely output-focused. It's a recipe for failure and disappointment for sure. But on the new roadmap side, it acts as a strategic alignment tool. Instead of exact dates, it uses broad timeframes. Instead of rigid features, it uses themes. And crucially, it is outcome-focused. This new paradigm embraces learning, it embraces uncertainty, and it gives your team the actual flexibility they need to innovate.
Section 3. Rules for the relaunch. The core components.
Think of this next phase as your how-to playbook. To relaunch this process successfully, our source text identifies 5 mandatory components of a modern roadmap. We've got product vision, business objectives, timeframes, themes, and disclaimers. Now, these aren't just random pieces of information thrown together. They purposefully build upon each other, step by step, to create total organizational alignment, from the executive suite all the way down to the engineering floor.
I want to give a dedicated spotlight to component number 4, themes. Moving away from features and towards customer needs is the single most crucial paradigm shift in this entire framework. So a theme is a high-level customer need, a problem, or a job to be done. By focusing your roadmap on themes, you shift the conversation away from, hey, what specific button or widget are we building, to what customer outcome are we actually trying to achieve here? This frees up your engineering and design teams to figure out the absolute best solution rather than just mindlessly executing a predetermined feature list.
Another absolutely vital component is timeframes. Notice how we specify that broad timeframes avoid overcommitment. So instead of saying a feature is going to ship on exactly October 14th, you use broad horizons. Think Q1, the second half of the year, or even just now, next, and later. Using these broad time horizons prevents false precision. It stops your sales team from selling things that frankly don't exist yet, and it gives your agile teams the breathing room to actually solve problems properly without constantly being on a death march.
Section 4. Building the Wombat Roadmap, a case study. Let's move to and see how this builds. We're going to transition from theory to a concrete, real-world application to see how these core components actually fit together. Meet the hypothetical Wombat Garden Hose Company. Imagine you're the product manager here, and you've been tasked with building a premium, brand-new garden hose for affluent American homeowners. Where do you even begin?
Well, every great roadmap starts with the overarching vision. For Wombat, the company vision isn't just let's make green hoses. No, it is be the brand Americans associate with beautiful landscapes. This is your North Star. Every single thing that ultimately goes onto the roadmap must serve this specific aspirational vision.
Next, we look at the data to find the problems. Customer research revealed a critical factor here. 63% of Americans surveyed indicate insufficient irrigation as the #1 or #2 factor affecting their satisfaction with their residential landscape. I mean, that is a massive insight. It directly informs your business objectives and gives you the exact themes, the real customer struggles that your roadmap desperately needs to address.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is seeing the completed, fully annotated Wombat roadmap coming together into a single artifact. It might look a little simple at first glance, but it is incredibly powerful. You can see all 5 core components working together in perfect harmony to communicate a strategic narrative to the entire company. Let's break down exactly how it works. Looking at the top half of the document, we start with the product vision, perfecting American lawns and landscapes by perfecting water delivery. That vision acts as the umbrella that directly guides the broad, flexible timeframes you see organized in the columns right below it. We've got H1 of 17, H2 of 17, 2018, and future. There are 0 exact release dates here, just a logical, flowing sequence of strategic priorities. Then we get to the absolute meat of the roadmap. Look under that first timeframe column. The theme is indestructible hose. That is the customer problem we're solving. They want a hose that won't break or kink. Below that are the objectives: increase unit sales, decrease number of returns, decrease overall defects. This perfectly details how the theme states the customer's need, while the objectives measure the actual business improvement we expect to see once we solve that need. Finally, down at the very bottom, we have the disclaimer component. It reads, updated 3/30/17, subject to change without notice. Now, whatever you do, do not skip this. I really want to emphasize the vital importance of this tiny line of text. It protects both the company and the customer by openly acknowledging that strategy must evolve as we learn. It sets the expectation from day one that this roadmap is a statement of intention, not a rigid legal contract.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer today. I want to conclude by leaving you with this provocative question to challenge your daily operations. Look at your current team's backlog and your current plans. Are you just building features to hit arbitrary deadlines, or are you truly solving problems? Take these insights, inspire your team, and perhaps it's time to relaunch your own road mapping process. Thank you so much for joining me, and stay focused.